Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we will be replacing the brake booster hose on a SEAT Leon MK3 or 5F platform. I will explain a little bit why we are replacing this. But first let's start with removing the clamp for the intake pipe, the Jubilee clip. It's 6 or 7 millimeter if not mistaken and can be removed quite easily. Once the Jubilee clip is loose, just slide it down and let it hang on the turbo elbow. Let's also remove the engine cover, as it gives us a lot more room to work with in this already confined space that we need to be in. Just put it somewhere safe, like here. I can highly recommend one of these special tools for removing these spring type clamps. They're very easy to work with and it makes life a lot easier when working on your own car. Remove the pipe, it can be removed very easily, a little force is needed, and then we should have enough room to access the brake booster hose. It's right here. This is a small vacuum hose which is connected to the brake booster hose. Just use a flat blade screwdriver and gently pry it off. Remember, it's plastic, so don't overdo it. There we go. Now it's time to remove the pinch connector. This is a very fiddly part of the removal. I will save you some time and show you what I did to, which actually worked in my case. So I tried it with a flat blade screwdriver first, which didn't work out in the end. Then I took these very small, slim needle nose pliers and positioned them in this fashion. I also used a flat blade screwdriver to wiggle it off out of its place. So you have to pinch it and wiggle it at the same time. And that is what worked in my case. Again, it's a little bit hard to show you guys. And again, it was quite fiddly to do so. And slowly but surely I was able to pry it off. Gently wiggle it out of place. And there you go. That part is removed right now. If you reach under the brake fluid reservoir, you should have enough room to access the other part of the hose, which is connected to the brake booster. There's an electro connector right there, which comes off very easily. Standard connection, of course, as it's a VW car in the end. Just gently pull out the other side out of the brake booster. It's a normal barbed fitting, so just gently pull it out. If you're successful, you will hear the air escaping from the brake booster, the vacuum of course, and then you can snake out the brake booster hose out of its position. This is how it looks, and you see a T-fitting over there, which is a big no-no in my case. Reason why there's a T-fitting is because my car, the Cupra, has a cutout valve which is vacuum operated. That's okay in my book, but never tee off the brake booster hose, as it's a vital component for the safety of the car. It's better to tee off the vacuum from another source, like the intake plenum, which is much safer, or the fuel pressure regulator on older cars. That's also fine. But I never tend to mess with brakes, especially if you have a vacuum leak and the brake booster is not working well. Then you might have a very, very bad time that day. So that's the reason why I replaced it with a brand new second-hand unit. I did make the decision to swap over the brake pressure sensor, as I know that the existing brake pressure sensor is working well, and from a second-hand unit you never know. So that's why I made the executive decision to replace it with the one I know is working well. It's clipped into place. I used a pick for this to gently pry off the sensor, and then as you can see there's a rubber O-ring to seal off the sensor. To ease the installation I used a little bit of silicone spray from WD-40 in this case, Specialist series, which makes installation very easy. It will simply click into place once you push it in. Just make sure the O-ring is seated well and that it's sitting correctly. Time for the reinstallation. I used some silicone spray on this rubber O-ring at the pinch connector side. This makes the installation a little bit easier to do. Now we can snake the brake booster pipe into place. It should point to the left first, and then the other part should point at the brake booster. I also used some silicone spray on the barbed part that made the installation way easier. It can only fit one way. It has a locating pin over at the barbed side, so there's not much room for error. It's pretty hooligan proof if you ask me. Here you see the installation of the pinched connection. Just push it into place and it will click once you seat it correctly. Connect the vacuum hose, just push it on there. There should be a snug fit without the need for any clip over there. Now it's time to reinstall the intake pipe. First slide over the clamp, the spring clamp, over the connection, and then connect the intake hose to both sides. Whichever side you do first isn't that important, but the turbo side is usually easier. Slide it over, make sure it's seated correctly without any tension on the hose. Once you're happy with the placement of the clamp, just remove the pliers ever so slightly. Just like this. And one of the last steps is to tighten the Jubilee clip on the turbo side. Again, it's a 6 or 7 millimeter. Don't overdo it. And as a last step, we only need to put on the beauty cover or the engine cover. And that is another job done. Please like the video if this video helped you out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And I see all of you in the next video. Thanks for watching.